Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the upgrade or the fix videos I promised for my PowerMac G5. So a couple of videos back, we looked at this PowerMac that was broken, dead logic board. You can see I have my cinema display set up next to it. I'm just going to show you what happens. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Get the startup chime. Obviously PowerPC takes a while to come up on the screen, like everyone knows. Fans go to full speed. Get the Apple logo. And nothing happens. So, problem here, once again, is the BGA chips heat up and cool down, and the solder cracks in between them and the logic board, and the thing just fails from there. So in this video and the next video, we are going to be dismantling the G5, taking the logic board out, popping it in the oven, and reassembling it and seeing if our endeavors are successful. If it doesn't work, I'll just take the graphics card out and put it in the G5 and take the RAM out and use this one for parts like fans or optical drives or what have you. Or maybe I could take the case and use it as a Hackintosh case. That should threaten the G5 to work properly. Lord knows how much I hate when people do that. But, yeah, so we're going to be fixing the G5. I'm going to stop the video here and continue with an angle looking into the G5 from atop my desk. So here's the G5. You can see side panels off, nothing else has been removed. The tools I'm going to be using are a generic Phillips head and a Torx T10. You're going to want a longer T10 to reach into the back of the heat sinks. I mean, quite long. I have this one. You can see ordinary screwdriver with an extension and then the bit on it. So, yeah, I also have a little parts tray. I'm going to be keeping this in the screws. You can see it's labeled 1 to 16 on these 16, and then I want to get things to fill in those, and then I'll number those 16 or 17, so whatever ends up fitting in there. And then I'm just going to write down what number corresponds to what screw. And also I have a desk lamp right there in case I can't see something. So yeah, eventually we will take the machine and put it on its side. But for now we're going to be working on it like this. So I'm going to turn on the light so I can see better. And so no doubt you guys can as well. Move it down a bit more so it's just not, so it's barely out of frame. Right there. And I'll begin removing it. So, from what I can see, I just, from here, would remove the graphics card, remove these back fans, take the processor, remove everything that would obviously get removed. This, back fans, processors, graphics card. And then there's some screws in the back that allow me to take the logic board out and like some other stuff than what I just mentioned. But of course, it's seemingly pretty easy. So first thing I want to do, remove the fans. This isn't meant to be a tutorial really, but when I do stuff like this, I always start going through what I'm doing. So something that really helped me take this out, and I just took a few things out and I realized I didn't have a T10 on me, so I just put it back together until now. Something that helped me remove this and put it back in was if I removed this bracket here. So there's a screw down there and a screw up here. You guys can probably see the screw up top, but not on the bottom other side. You'll know what I'm talking about. So I'm just gonna got my screwdriver in there. My head's probably blocking the shot. I'm just gonna remove that. That's a Phillips. I'm just gonna remove that further. Put it in compartment 1. Also, grab the bottom screw and remove that. And I'll just pull that out, and there we go. So that's that. That came out. That hurt a lot. And then there's our other screw. So we'll just pop that in our parts tray. And I'll label one is the PCI support there. My friends, from how I explained the process of repair, I earned the nickname Fish Sticks, by the way. Yeah. My friend asked me if I was making fish sticks when I told him I'd put this in the oven as a joke. And there you go. So let's zoom out and let's go for the graphics card now. I'll turn off my light so you guys can see in there better. Right there, this screw. Just need to remove that. I'm gonna put my hand on it as well, just to grab it as it comes out. There we go. Screw is right there. That's a Phillips, by the way. It kind of looked like a T6 or a Torx when I was holding it. Gonna label that GPU as well. Turn my light back on and zoom way out. So let's go ahead and remove the card. I'm just gonna kind of push on the display outputs with my hand and then pull down the retention arm thing. And you can see just how, you can't really get a good view of how dusty this thing is, but this thing is full of dust. I'm going to set that aside and plug in my phone quickly before it runs out of battery. Let me do that. So, if I haven't made myself clear, what's going to be happening is we are going to remove the logic board, throw it in the oven at, I believe BBISHOPCM said 300 is what he had it, so I'm just going to go for 300, hopefully that's good. And hopefully my phone is charging now, because I always charge it off my laptop, because I have no idea where my charger went. In fact, I have one down there, but I won't reach. I used to have a 9-foot cord, or a 9-foot lightning adapter, and something cool just fell on my foot. That was a piece of tape. And it used to reach from a wall socket to my phone. It was really nice, but I lost that at my friend's house. So, yeah, that's great. So next, just for safety, and just so I don't forget, I'm going to remove the RAM. By the way, I tried reseating the RAM in the process, nothing happened. So obviously it's the logic board. These are hellishly dusty as well, you can see better on that. I will give this a clean before I throw everything back together in the next video. So, let's go ahead and pop that out. So there's a pin up here that you have to remove. Mine was already removed by the looks of it, so I can just kind of push the thing forward and then pull it out. And here's the processor thing, and it's a little bent, so I'm just gonna bend it back. Yeah, that looks straight. And I'll set that behind me. Right here, this little plastic piece, grab that under the heatsink and then kind of pull it out. So that's that. And that will uncover, let me move the camera over, and my tripod's broken. That will uncover it. It's lowest to you guys. I think you can see it. Up in there, there's a screw, and then down there, that it's not screwed in on those. And then, actually, let's go ahead and remove the fan as well, this back fan. So just press down on those tabs and kind of pull it forward. I can't actually see what I'm working on from this angle. Dang, that is really stuck. Let me go around and do it. So let's remove that, and I'm just gonna, because this is a loss anyway, I'm just gonna kind of pull on it and hope it doesn't break. So here's the fan, the rear fan assembly for the G5 connector up there. It's weird, they use 4-pin fans, or 4-pin fans, but there's only 6 connectors. So I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, so you can see fans are removed. Let's kind of turn that off so you can see what's happening. Now, right now, the screws here I'm gonna remove, so I'm just gonna put in my driver and then twist those to the left to remove them. So I'm just gonna guide it with my hand at this point, and they're quite long. So I'm gonna put those in compartment 4. I'm just gonna label that CPU front, just so I don't, just so I'm sure. Also, do I have a Sharpie on me? I can't believe it. I had a Sharpie, I swear to God. All the way at the other end of my room now. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to write top and bottom on this. Yes, it defaces the machine, but it just shows that ghetto-ness. Because I don't want to have to run the calibration, the thermal calibration utility on this, because A, it takes a long time, B, I don't have it, C, I can't procure it legally, D, I don't even know how to procure it illegally, E, I wouldn't do that illegally, and F, if you put, no pun intended, if you put the processors back in their proper alignment, you won't have to run the calibration. Dang. I'll just put Post-its on it. Screw it. And then I'll put Sharpie on it later. So I'm just gonna write top on one. So I'll just write top and throw it on there. I wrote top twice because I was using a blue pen, mind you. And then bottom for the bottom processor, because the processors are also attached to the heatsink. So now the back screws rather. There's more than one. I wish there was only one screw on this. There aren't any back screws, actually. Yeah, there are. So let's lower the heatsink, or the tripod, just a little bit more. And then I'll use the little spinny thing on it to adjust. You guys are probably like horribly sick now, like I am, but I'm not. I don't have motion sickness, I have a cold. That's gotten better since the last time I filmed this. So you can see those two screws in there. What kind are they? Headshot. They're a Torx T10. So I'm gonna end my neck and then screw both of those. Hopefully the heat sinks will catch them. Catch them like Pokemon. Is that it? I think I got that one. You should see the way my neck is positioned to view that screw. I'm actually kind of working off the LCD on the iPhone a bit more than I am from my vision, which is saying something. And then there's two more screws. You can see there's a hole in the middle of the heatsink. You can barely see it. There's two in there, so I'm going to turn on my light and make an educated guess. Please, oh, you can see I'm a bit better now. Believe those are T10s as well. If they're not, then they're either Phillips or T15, because the iFixit tutorial said I needed a T15. I'm just going to wiggle the screwdriver around until I hit something. Dang it. Wait, do these come out? No, they don't. Yeah, you can see the two screws there. I'm going to do this without blocking the camera for you guys, but I have the right expertly positioned. Got one. Watch this be like a capacitor that I just ripped off the board. I'd be sad if it was. You can see that screw looks unscrewed. And normally I'd say be careful, but if you're looking at this as a tutorial, your machine's already dead, so there's no real use in being careful. I got the first screw, I think. And now I'm looking through the front heatsink, or the front grill of the G5, which is very cool. Very ghetto. Not really, but you get what I'm saying. So, in theory, if we unscrew that, wait a sec. You know what I just realized? I just realized something very important. I am completely blind. In there are two more screws. So we'll pop those out. Can I have my bit? Can I have my bit back, Mr. Screw? Shite. There we go. My bit got stuck in the head of the screw. That was great. What the hell did I just remove? Wait a sec. I only have 2 screws for the front heatsink. Actually, there are some more screws that I forgot. Well, around the tripod and RIP headphone users, I'll probably put a warning in the video. Not. Got those 2. And there's 2 more back there. There's 2 more screws that I didn't see. I don't know how I'm missing all of this. But you can see there's 2 screws behind the heatsink on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to remove those. Hopefully my bit doesn't get stuck in those. And no, there's one. And I one-shotted the other screw. Really? Really? Well, I didn't get the screw on that one, but I got my, the other half of my screwdriver back, so that's great. And then, compartment 8 is CPU back. And I believe I am correct, and I am not correct at all. Now these, yes, in theory and in practice, oh, that sounds bad, oh, that sounds terrible, come out just like that. There we go. And let me see. Did I get all the screws? I'm missing one. I'm just gonna set this aside very carefully somewhere and text a picture of it to my friend because, yeah. And in theory and in practice, this one comes out too. There we go. Very nice, very nice. And I'll take one of the screws out that I left in there, and I'll set it somewhere else on top of the other heatsink. And CPU bottom goes in CPU back goes in CPU back. Okay. And these. What are those? Was ist das? I guess those aren't important, so I'm just gonna screw those back in. And if the thing doesn't... I'm compressing a spring or something, so I'm just gonna leave those. You know what, these must be like holding pins or something, because I see 2 more of them right there. So I guess those aren't important to remove. But there's our Baron G5. So yeah, everything's removed from it, processor-wise, and RAM and GPU-wise. One thing I forgot was this top fan assembly, the fan and speaker. We can just wiggle those out and remove it. And yeah, so I'm going to continue the video with the G5 on its back, or side, or whatever, where we will continue removing the logic board. Alright, so I have the G5 on its side. So I'm not sure how well you guys can see what I'm doing because my tripod is literally as close as I can possibly get it to the front of the desk. So you guys really can't. Here, let's redo the tripod. So it's like literally hanging over the edge of the desk in the way it's currently set up. It's like a roller coaster. Yeah, anyway. So if we look down here, let me aim the light down more. There's this little shroud here. And from what I can see, I can't see a lot, so that's not going to help us too much. From what I can see, it's attached to the board from the back, for the most part at least. So, yeah, it's attached to the board from the back. So what we're going to do first to remove the board, I'm going to unplug the optical drive. Just got to go into that with confidence, by the way. I'm going to take my Phillips screwdriver and unscrew this screw right down in the corner. It is attached to this, by the way, but it also holds in the logic board. So I'm going to write that down. And close up my thing. So what else? Nothing under the optical drive connector. If we go all the way over here, nothing by the SATA, which is weird. Oh yeah, it's held in with little pins. I was thinking, like, how is that not connected to anything? So I'm just going to remove the screws right now. So it's screwed into the logic board. There's a screw there. From anything else? Sorry, I'm blocking the view. Yes, there's a screw right there and a screw on that end. So, let's go down and unscrew it. And that is the same as the other one. So I'll put that in 5 just to make it a bit different. And I will unscrew this screw as well. You guys can't see that, or you barely can, but there it is. So let's unscrew that, put it in 5 along with the other screw. And then going along the bottom, we can see there's a screw right there hiding and a screw right there. Any other screws that I can see? No. There's one screw. I'm being super careful because I do not want to lose the screws to this machine. This is what surgery is all about. And there's one last screw. Oh, yikes. Hopefully that wasn't too loud or anything for you guys, and I just stabbed myself with a screwdriver. That hurt. Not too badly though. Okay, so now that's it for those. There's two screws, one here and one there. Look a bit different, but they're Phillips. Did I just bend one of those connectors? No, I didn't. I thought I did for a sec, but let me take this one now. And there we go, there's our other one. So let me label these quickly. I'll do 6. I'll do CPU Phillips support screws. That's it for those as well, from what I can see. Let's see, what else do we have to do? I'm gonna hope these work. If not, I'll grab my vice grips. They're a bit big for this. But right here, 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 and here, we have little towers that we have to remove, which I can't do with my regular screw or with my regular thing. Just loosen a few of these. Got one. Almost out. There we go, there's one. Oh god, please don't have me bend the pins on these. Oh god. This is way too big a tool for this. Here's another one. Welcome to Ghetto Repairs. This is what it's all about. And when I said this is what surgery is all about, if you're a doctor, don't do stuff like this to your patient, because that would not be good. And I hope if you've ever done something this ghetto with a patient surgery, if you are a doctor, that you got your medical license taken away for at least something. Now, can't get to that one without removing that. How hard are those to remove? Do I have any sort of wrench or anything here? I do not. Alright, found one. I just edited out the part where I go downstairs and grab one. All I'm doing is turning them a little bit and then twisting them the rest of the way with my hand. Please excuse the loud hearing in the background, or the loud breathing in the background that you may be able to hear. As I said, I just literally sprinted downstairs into my basement and got one of these. And this is giving me a really hard time. It's coming out, but slowly. So there, we got one. So now I'll organize these. And now I'll get these in the middle. Let me remove these screws. Maybe that'll help with something. There, those are removed. Come on. Yeah, you guys can't. Getting kind of impatient now, as you can see. You guys couldn't hear, or couldn't. Are those supposed to come out? It looks like they aren't actually. Alright, that's fine. What else? Connectors now. So there's one down here. Power supply. So just remove all those connectors, obviously. Come on. I'm gonna sit down before my back gives out. There's a plastic cover on it. I just popped the other one off the front panel connector. So I don't know what the problem is. Yeah, this is really getting annoying. So you know what? I'm gonna undo all the connectors. So the one over there, this one, there's some SATA and other things up there. There's this fan. No, we're not gonna do the fan yet. So I'll continue the video when I have all these connectors undone. Just a slight little segment. I'm working on this connector. To get at that connector, I am going to remove the fan shroud. I was gonna do this later, but it'll help me fix this. So let me grab my little screwdriver. I have a little blue one somewhere around here. Here it is. And if we look at the fan here, you can see there's a screw there, there, and there. So there's, I believe that's 9. I wasn't counting, and I can't do math, and I forgot how many there were, and you get what I'm saying. So I believe that's 9. Don't take my word for it. Just count all these screws that are around the fan shroud. And I'm going to be not holding the camera while I do this. Almost there, guys. So in last segment you saw batteries low, so I'll keep this short. You saw we removed the fan shroud in the back to get at the back connector. It helps a lot. Also, these mounting posts, I did have to remove those. You are supposed to remove those. So forgive me for forgetting about that. So now at this point, in theory, we can just pop the board out like I am doing. Looks like some of the pins on the bottom aren't released. And Mr. SATA cable up on the top here doesn't want to let his friend go. Little does he know, he'll see it again. It's stuck on the bottom. No screws. Screws aren't the problem this time, or any time. So these SATA cables are really freaking annoying. I can hear myself breaking stuff as I remove it because of them. One more pin that's not free yet. There we go. Oh, didn't mean for that to happen. You guys can't see what's happening. There we go. All right. There we go. Wow. This is what the empty G5 case looks like. So as B Bishop was talking about, the back fan sucks up the air and blows it out through this. So yeah, there we go. So the case is empty, and it's not really any lighter than it used to be. So let me drop it on the floor, and let's have a look. So you can see the board. Everything's removed from it except the little shroud. So on the back, this is probably really bad for the board. I have it standing up on the PCI thing. You can see heat sinks everywhere. There's that heat sink, a bunch of these little pad things, supports. So yeah. Let's remove some more screws. That's my thought. Screwdriver. So now we want to remove this screw, and that screw. And hold up the board as you're doing this if you have it on its support or on the thing like that. Really, it's important that you do that if you want your machine to be in good shape if it works again. There. Now, in theory, that should come right off. In practice, it doesn't because there's a little latch holding on It looks to be a thermal probe, so I'm going to... Why is that stuck? Let's move this down again. And we want to remove this board by the looks of it, which we can't do, so we're just going to leave that on. You guys can't see what I'm doing. I'll move in a sec. So if we move the board or if we move this like this, there's a fan connector right there. Or unplug that. So unplug that while you're doing all of this. And then, yeah, let's get that now. Let's just one-shot it. There we go. That sounded bad. Thanks. Okay. Now there's a little probe there. Pull out on that connector. So let's do that now. Pull out on it like I just did, and pull out on that as well. So now that comes out a bit more easily. And that doesn't want to come out. Let's go onto the back. No, let's not go onto the back. You can see there's some kind of clip holding these wires in. Just gonna bend that up. And then wrap these cables around through it. And there we go. Now this is free. Be very careful doing that. I wasn't. So that's our back portion removed. I'm going to pop the screws in my tray of screws. PCI separator, I'll just write that down. So there's our board. Now, we have a bunch of wires going around to the back, so let's take this and pull it off violently. And also take this EMI or EFI shield and pull that off too. And so these screws go around into the modem, or these wires go around into the modem and Wi-Fi and audio. So as to whether we should remove those, I am not going to. I'm just gonna hope they don't like melt apart because they're pretty thin. So yeah, let's go ahead and set that aside. And in the next part of the video, we will put this in the oven. Or not put it in the oven yet, but get it ready for the oven. Alright, so I forgot something. Remove these heat sinks. That's important. How are we going to remove those? So if we go around front by the looks of it, we can see we have a bunch of these black things on it. And there's two down here as well. You just need to pop those out. And there's one by the SATA connectors, like I said, as well. Just need to pop those out, so you squeeze the little tab things and pull it out from what I understand. So I'm just squeezing them down with pliers and then pushing them out with the pliers as well on these two. The ones on the bottom already jumped out on me, so you guys probably can't see what's going on here either. With the connectors as well, take your time on those. It took me around 15 minutes to get one of them out, and then this one that we had to remove the fan shroud for took another little while. Not 15 minutes, more like 5 or 7, but it still took me quite a while. And don't just rip this off. More on that in a sec. As soon as I can get this connector out. So I'm going to end this for now. So just some final preparations before the oven. What we're going to do here is 2 things. So you can see up there at the top, there's a battery. Remove that. For the love of God, remove that battery or it will blow up in the oven. So we're going to do that. Also, on the back here, you can see there's a bunch of thermal compound on that. Remove that too, because that will be important to remove. Also, remove it on your heatsink. We'll be replacing it. You'll need thermal compound, replacement thermal compound after this. So I'm just going to remove it, remove it. And I'm using rubbing alcohol right now. By the way, if you don't know, geez, this machine is taken apart. Don't inhale too much of this because you'll get a headache and so forth until death, but you can see I'm just removing this. The joys of working on old computers, eh? It's about time I tackle a major repair job like this. I haven't done one in many months. And it's very fun, I think. I haven't properly fixed one of these problems in almost a year as well, so that's pretty cool. Also, before I fully bake this, I'm going to coat the top of this in a little thing I like to call air. By that I mean just dry off the top of it. So because the vapors of rubbing alcohol are flammable and will blow up under heat and flame and all that. So I'm just going to wipe it down with a microfiber cloth. I'm not sure if this is microfiber. It was advertised as microfiber, so I'm just going to go with it. It can be anything it wants to be. That was the thermal compound, or the rubbing alcohol. That made me cough. So you can see that's removed. Now I'm going to flip it over and just pop out the battery somehow. Let me grab a flathead that I don't have anywhere. Let me just grab my pliers and that won't work. So I'll grab my smaller screwdriver and kind of almost. There we go. There's our little battery. Really remove that. And that is it. Now it's ready to go in the oven. So I'm not going to film me. Actually, yeah, I will. Never mind. So for our final step of this apple pie, what we're going to do is prepare our pan and logic board for the oven. So let's move the logic board aside. First thing we're going to do is take one heck of a lot of aluminum foil. Well, not one heck of a lot, but we're going to cover this pan in it on the top. Unless you want a healthy dosage of lead poisoning and or cancer, from what I know, you're going to want to cover it. A lot of people don't know this. I wash my hands after working on computer stuff because it contains mercury and cadmium and all this. Oh, also, just forgot this. Remove this plastic piece. Before you put it in. So you can see we have this. We're also going to wrap it around the bottom just so it doesn't come off. And for ease of use, while taking it out of the oven as well, I am going to first pack this down a little bit. And yeah, ignore the first that I just said. Just pack this thing down around the edges so it doesn't interfere with the oven rack, because it gets really annoying when you have to remove it. So there's our pan ready for our pie. So here I have 4 of these corks. They're all the same type. They're these like synthetic things. I have soaked them in water overnight, and I'm gonna wrap them in aluminum foil, a lot of aluminum foil, so they stay like insulated, and just kind of put them sequentially on the pan, and find 2 flat spots on the board. Put it backside up and kind of just rest the board on them. So yeah, and from there you're gonna go ahead and put it in the oven. So thanks for watching this video. Yes, I am a mean person. We're gonna be putting it in the oven and reassembling it in the next video. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this really long video that was really bad quality because it's like 9 at night and there's no lighting in my room, and it's just all around, it's just in general really terrible. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video, which will be the baking and reassembling of our apple pie.